Most High Christ, our service has officially begun. All which means home. The I.S.U.P.K, which stands for wine. La Yasharala, which means to Israel. Paul. Of Israel, Imajam, which means to stand. Saw upon your Hakwadam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to recite the prayers, starting with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Quadash, Hayat, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakavka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayat, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayat, Bashamayim, Natan Lanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawawaf Yanawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawawaf Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabayai Nawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kayat, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wa'atapara, La'awalamyam, Aman. In the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakak, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Baba Kwasha, Natan Lanawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Ka'amakala, Waka'amadawa, Hakak, Lata'ah, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, Lahakwayim, Hamathium, Hakak, Arakaraf, Hatama'ala, Lagarashan, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Tawada Aman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power to cast unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Psalm 121 in the Hebrew, Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahahoria, Ma'ayan, Yava'ah, Izaria, Ma'ain, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'arataza, Ayatan, Lamawat, Wagalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hanala'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shalamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Hazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Rayarak, Ba'ayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makar Rai, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaafka, Wabawaka, Ma'aika, Wa'aik Iwalam. In the English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Al-Hayam, Al-Damayalaka, Al-Takarash, Wa Al-Tashakwat, Al Kayahana, our Yabyaka, Yahama Yawan, Wamashana Yaka, Nasha'awa, Ra'ash, Al Imaka, Yaira Yamwa, Sawad, Wayata Yaitazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amorwa, Lakawa, Wanakakyadam, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasharala, Aiwad, Kaya, Nawa Aitazawa, La, Yakadwa, Alyaka, Bara'af, Yakawafwa, Ahoya, Adawam, Wayashamayliam, Mawa'aba, Wahagorium, Gabor, Wa'aimawan, Wa'aimalak, Palashaf, Amyashabia, Tazawar, Gum Ashawar, Nalawa, Aiman, Hayawa, Zawawai, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aisha Laham, Kamadian, Kasayasara'a, Kayabian, Banakor, Kwayashwan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayan Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shayatamwa, Nadayabmawa, Ka'irab, Wakaza'aba, Wakazabak, Wakatazamanai, Kanasayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Af, Na'awaf, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Napanya Raka, Ka'ash, Haba'ira, Ya'ira, Wakalahaba, Talahat, Haryam, Kantaradakma, Basa Iraka, Wabasa Wapafka, Tabahalam, Mala'ah, Tanyaham, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shanka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayaba'awa, Aya'ai, Wayakapawa, Wayabadwa, Waya the Ira, Aya'ai, Waya Kapawa, Waya Abadwa, Waya the Ira, Kaya, Arthur, Shanka, Yahawa, Labaka, Al Yawan, Al Ha'arataza. Keep not thy silence, O my power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O my power. For lo, thy enemies make it to moat, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against our people, and consulted against our hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabor, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asar also is joined with them. They have opened the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zahab. Yea, all their princes as Zabah and as Zamunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the power in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burning for wood, and as the flame set of the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. Blessing in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shah. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayam. Matazab Ya'ah. Matazab Ya'ah. Salakia. Matazab Ya'ah. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapyam. Ha Saranyam, Ha Kwatazayanyam, Ha Kayayanyam, Waha Aquafiam, Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, the water Aman. In the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushua, and Michael, and the angels, Commanding General Yohanan, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. I.S.U.P.K curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into that sanctuary. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Kamatazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words toward the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua, thank you always. So be it. So we choose to turn. Yeshabia, you seated. Brothers, I'll take some my young Baba Kushak when you get a chance. Last week we left off at Job chapter 30 and 18. This week we're going to pick it up at Job 30 and 19, starting in the Hebrew. All right. Sorry, Christ. All right, Job 30 and 19 in the Hebrew. Aronia, Lakamar, Wa'a, Famashal, Ka'ai Wa'apar, verse 20. Ashawai, Alyaka, Wala'a, Ta'ai, Nanya, Aimad, Thea, Watha, Salakia, Watha, Taba, Nak, Baya, verse 21. Taha, Par, La'a, Kazar, Laya, Ba'ai, Tazam, Yadka, Tasha, Tamanya, 22. Tashanya, Al, Rarak, Tarak, Kayab, Naya, Watama, Gaganya, Tashawa, verse 23. Kaya, Yadaithaya, Marath, Tashayab, Naya, Wabaya, Mawa'id,
Lakal, Kaya, 24, Ak, La'a, Baaya, Yashalak, Yad, Bapayadwa, Lahat, Lahan, Shawai, 25, La'a, 25 is the last verse. La'a, Bakayafia, Laqua, Shah, Yawam, Ai, Gama'a, Napashia, La'a, Bayaran. All right, 30 and 19 in the Hebrew. Most on Christ, it's a garment. All right, it is a garment. And the water. Job chapter 30, verse 19 in the Hebrew.
Like it's in English.
Oh, so like in the English. I say in the Hebrew, but I'm about to read the English. Hey, shalom, Officer Shaw.
Shalom.
He hath cast me into the mire, and I am become like dust and ashes. Verse 20, I cry unto thee, and thou dost not hear me. I stand up, and thou regardest me not. Verse 21, thou art become cruel unto me. With thy strong hand thou opposest thyself against me. 22, thou liftest me up to the wind. Thou causest me to ride upon it, and dissolvest my substance. For I know that thou wilt, 23, bring me to death, and to the house appointed for all living. 24, howbeit he will not stretch out his hand to the grave, though they cry in his destruction. Verse 25, did not I weep for him that was in trouble? Was not my soul grieved for the poor? All right, so this is Job basically talking about his condition from the state that he was in. In the earlier verses, he was talking about how, the people that he helped, the people that was not, that wouldn't even, like he said, let me read it. I will have disdain to have set with the dogs of my flock, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me. For want of and famine, they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time. So, where's the verse I'm looking for? But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I will have disdain. That's what I was looking for. So basically, the people that are younger than him, the people that he helped, now they looking at him like he is nothing. They're looking at him because of the pain and suffering that he's going through. It's like, you are nothing. And in the last verse I just read, he's talking about didn't I help the poor? Right? Didn't I in verse 25, did I not wait for him that was in trouble? Was not my soul grieved for the poor? So the same way you are grieving for the poor, don't think when you become poor that people is gonna grieve for you. Right? They're gonna look at you like you are nothing. Like they looked at Job like, you're nothing now. You're poor. You're not the man that had 100 sheep. The man that had a wife and a lot of children that we looked up to. Now you done fall, so now we don't have no respect for you. And this is what a lot of our people we fall into. We fall into loving people because of their status. This is why we love the entertainers so much. We don't know nothing about them. We don't know their character. We don't know how they treat the poor. We just know that they are famous. They're on Forbes magazine, and we love them just because of that. We respect them just because of their status. All right, and we ought not to do this. In our nation, there's no respect of a person. Job chapter 30, verse 26 in the Hebrew. Kaya, Tarab, Kwawa, Yafia, Wayaba'a, Ra'ai, Wa'a, Yakala, La'awar, Wayaba'a, Apal, 27, Maya, Ratha, Kawa, Wala'a, Damawa, Kwada, Manya, Yamya, Anya, verse 28, Qadar, Hala Kafia, Balaa, Kamaa, Kwamafia, Bakwaho, Ashawai, 29, At, Haya Yafia, Laftan Yum, Rarai, Laban Waf, Ya'aina, 30, I Warrior, Shakal, Maalia, Wa'ai Tazamya, Kara, Manya, Karab, 31, Wayahaya, La'abal, Kanaria, Wa'ai, Gabia, Lakwawa, Bakayam, chapter 31, verse 1. Correct, brothers? Barayaf,
Say it again, sir.
31 and 1, right?
Come.
2 is the last verse.
Come.
Barayaf, Karafia, La'ai, Yanya, Wama'a, Atha, Bawanan, Ail, Pathawala, verse 2.
What was the last verse?
Wama'a, Kalak, Alawa'a, Mama'ail, Wana Kalaf, Shadia, Mama Ramayam. All right. In the English, all right, 30 and 26. When I looked for good, then evil came unto me. And when I waited for light, there came darkness. My bowels boiled. 27. My bowels boiled and rested not. The days of affliction prevented me. 28. I went mourning without the sun. I stood up and I cried in the congregation. 29. I am a brother to dragons and a companion to owls. And this, a lot of time, you can feel like it. This is why Christ in the New Testament, he said, I send you as sheep among wolves, because your own people, the people you look out for, they could be dragons to you, right? They could be like owls. They could be like wolves, right? And we have to be wise among our own people. We have to be wise, all right? And because we go out like in the U.P.K, we go out to teach people we know don't want to listen to us. Like, people don't want to listen to us, and this has always been the plight of the prophets, right? You go out and you know the people are not going to listen to you, and you go out anyway. And this is the love we have for our people. We are brothers to our people, even though they are wolves, even though they are dragons to us, right? And Job was expressing how he's a brother to dragons, right? Job 29, I am a brother to dragons and a companion to owls. 30, my skin is black upon me. All right, a bedrock scripture, color scripture in the U.P.K. And my bones are burned with heat. 31, my heart also is turned to mourning, and my organ into the voice of them that weep. Right? 31, I made a covenant with my eyes. Why then should I think upon a maid? Verse 2, for what portion of God is there from above, and what inheritance of the Almighty from on high? There's a certain, I don't know if you're ever going to go through that, but there's a certain pain and suffering you're going through. You ain't even thinking about, no maid. You're not thinking about no women, right? And Job is there right now. He's like, why then should I think upon a maid? I'm suffering.
Right.
I pray you brothers never go through that suffering, so you can always get some. All right. Job 30, 31 and 3 in the Hebrew. All right. So like you. They call us Illuminati, so they say we in the Illuminati. This is the dragons Job is talking about. Job chapter 31, verse 3 in the Hebrew. Hala'ah, Ayad, La'ira, Wanakal, Lapa'alia, Aran, verse 4. Hala'ah, Hawa'ah, Yara, Darakia, Wakal, Tazaidia, Yasa, Hawar, Halakafia, Ain, Shawa'ah, Wathakash, Ail, Marama, Regalia, verse 6. Yasha Qualania, Bama Zania, Tazadak, Waya Dai, Alawa, Tamafia, verse 7. Tata'a, Asharia, Mania, Hadarak, Wa'akal, Yunya, Halak, Labia, Wabakapia, Dabat, Ma'awam, verse 8. Azariah, Wa'akal. You got your garment, Aishayala?
Alive.
Do you have a garment?
No.
Okay. Make sure you get a garment, all right?
No.
See, priest and officer, how's for that? Oh, Captain, what's the captain that's in charge of garment?
Capone. Oh, no, I'm thinking about Kapash. So, Officer Kapash. I'm Precinct Captain Kapash.
Captain Kapash as well, he got a garment. But make sure you get a garment, all right? All black garment.
Okay.
Sabbath service, you have to have a garment on. Which set is this, Shaw? Third. All right. Ya'akal, Tazania, Yasha Rashar, verse 9. Napatha, Labia, Ail, Ashar, Wa'ail, Pathak, Ra'aya, Arabathia, verse 10. Nine is the last verse. Card. Aishayala.
Okay.
Are you busy?
That's about you.
Good. All right. Job chapter 31, verse 3. Is not destruction to the wicked and a strange punishment to the workers of iniquity. Verse 4. Doth not he see my ways and count all my steps? Verse 5. If I have walked with vanity, or if my foot have hasted to deceit. Verse 6. Let me be weighed in and even balance, that God may know mine integrity. Verse 7. If my step have turned out of the way, and my heart walk after mine eyes, and if any blood have cleaved to my hands. Verse 8, like the scripture says, examine thyself. And this is what, all of us in the U.P.K, we have to do, man. Like, we have brothers right now that are bashing, one of our elders, man, who was instrumental.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In giving us what we have, that the Most High used, to bless us with the U.P.K, to bless us with the sanctuary. And these brothers, they're not even examining themselves. Brothers in the strip club, brothers doing all manner of evil and trying to make it seem like, there's a Levite supremacy. I'm Levi, and there's no Levite supremacy. The entire nation is to be joined to the Most High.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Not just one tribe. You know, and this is why, you know, Commanding General Yohana, who honored his fathers, man, he honored the man that gave him the truth, and he examined himself. You know, and he taught us to examine ourselves. And as priests and prophets, man, and brothers who watch us online and who's inspired to give up the world, who are motivated to serve the Most High, man, you have to examine yourself. You know, and this is what Job is doing here. He said, you know, if I have done evil, like trying to see what did I do, where did I go wrong? You know, and you always have to keep that spirit. Don't ever think you are better than your people. You're better than someone else, and you're quick to judge somebody. Meanwhile, you have not examined yourself. The scripture said to take the beam out your eye first, right? Take the, what is it? The log out your eye. Go ahead.
The smoke, sir?
Right. You want to come, Baba Kasha? Let's quote it. All right, so we have to examine ourselves, man. All right, and not quick to judge a brother in his old age, or judge a brother who's going through hell. All right, if my step have turned out of the way, and my heart walked after mine eyes, and if any blood have cleaved to mine hands. Verse 8, then let me sow, and let other eat, yea, let my offspring be rooted out. And Job is asking, if I've done something wrong, he's not trying not to be punished, right? And a lot of times we don't examine ourselves, and we want, we can't forgive a brother,
right?
But we want forgiveness. We're not gonna say this. What Job is saying here, Job is saying, if I turn, you got it? You got the scripture?
Come on, sir.
Yeah.
This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 5. Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye.
God, you got a big log on your eye, but you see this slither, smoke in your brother's eye.
Right.
Take that beam out your eye first. All right, take that out your eye first, because I'm sure when you done something evil, you're asking for forgiveness. You're not saying, you know what, the Most High, I've done evil. Let my offspring be rooted out, like Job said. All right, verse 9 is the last verse, right?
Come on, sir.
Verse 9, if my heart have been deceived by a woman, or if I have laid wait at my neighbor's door. I.S.U.P.K, come up. Bring a chair with you. Say you ready to shoot?
I.S.U.P.K, Bonaparium, Bon Yashala.
I.S.U.P.K, Bonaparium, Bon Yasharala.
Yahweh Hashem Yashala.
Yahweh Hashem Yashala. You have one, no? You can use this one. All right. I.S.U.P.K. Job 31 and 10.
Job chapter 31, verse 10. Zatzakhan, La'achar, Ashafia, Wa'ilaya, Yakarian, Akarian, verse 11, Kaya, Hawa'ah, Zama, Wahaya, Iwan, Palayalayum, Kaya, verse 12, Kaya Ash, Hayah, I Abadwan, the Akal, Wabakal, Tabawa'at, Athia, the Sharath, verse 13. Amas, Mashapat, Ibadia,
This is also Ibadja's name, servant. Ibadja. Good.
Wa'amathia, Barabam, Imadia, verse 14. Wama, Aisha, Kaya, Yakwam,
Just say Kwam.
Yakwam.
Like when you say like Kwam Yasharala,
Okay.
yeah, that means rise. Kwam, Yakwam. So rise up.
Wakaya, Yapaquad, Ma, Ashiyab, Ashay, Salak,
You got it.
Ashayabanwa, Hala'ah,
15.
verse 15, Hala'ah, Babatan, Aishanya, Aishawa, Wayabunan,
That's a car.
Wayakanunwa, Barakam, Akkad, verse 16,
16 is the last verse?
16 is the last verse.
verse 16. Amanai, Makapatiza, Dalayam, Wa'ayanya, Ilamana, Akala,
All right, in English.
in English, Job chapter 31, verse 10. Was where we started?
Verse 9.
Slocket.
Was it 9?
We started at verse 10. Sir.
10? Okay.
Job chapter 31, verse 10. Then let my wife grind unto another, and let others bow down upon her.
This is hardcore, man. Job is saying, look, if I strayed away, I'm saying, let my children be rooted out. All right, it's not a man that's saying, man, I strayed away, forgive me. This is a man that want to stay in his path, that do not want to stray away. This is not a wicked man that's looking at a brother in his old age fall and say, you evil, you evil. Meanwhile, you're doing all manner of evil and asking for forgiveness. This is a man that's saying, look, if I fall, let my children be rooted out. All right, if I let a woman in the previous verse, read verse 9, so we could get the context of verse 10.
Verse 9. If mine heart have been deceived by a woman, or if I have laid wait at my neighbor's door.
All right, so if you done, let a woman deceive you, or prefer a woman over the truth, or you over there plotting on your neighbor, plotting on your brother, and this is what he's asking, if he's done that evil, if he's done that wickedness. Now read verse 10.
Then let my wife grind unto another, and let others bow down upon her.
And there's something no man wants. No man wants their woman to be grinding on another. And if you've done that evil, then he's basically saying, if I've done that evil, let my children be rooted out, let my wife leave me. Keep going.
Verse 11. For this is an heinous crime. Yea, it is an iniquity to be punished by the judges. For it is a fire that consumeth to destruction, and would root out all mine increase.
And this is what we have to realize, right? With the truth and Christ giving us the spirit of the Lord. The evil is not the Lord is not there to really punish you. Right? The Lord is not there to say, you know what, you commit this act, you should die. The Lord is there for you to say, you know what, let me not do this evil. Let me not do evil to my brother, because if I do evil to my brother, I'm going to be judged for it. You know, an eye for an eye is not there for you to say, you know what, I'm gonna stab this brother in the back. You know, and I know he's gonna stab me back, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It's there for you to say, you know what, let me not stab my brother in the back, because I don't want my brother to stab me in the back. Read that verse again.
It's like verse
It's
11.
evil, I believe it says.
Verse
11, come.
For this is an heinous crime. Yea, it is an iniquity to be punished by the judges.
All right, to be punished by the judges, it is an iniquity. Why? Because the punishment is because you sinned. Because you didn't follow the spirit of the law that says to not commit that sin. Don't plot on your neighbor. Because you being punished by the judges, that is a crime. Don't look at the judges punishing you. Look at what you did. What did you do that required for someone to punish you? All right? And we have to be a law unto ourselves, so that we don't need like the schoolmasters, and we don't have the Levites now to come and punish us. This is why Christ made the law harder. Right? The law is harder now, because now you can't bring no goat. You can't bring no goat, for a sacrifice. You got to sacrifice yourself now.
Right.
You have to sacrifice yourself. You got to say, you know what, I'm not going to commit a crime, because nobody's going to come here to punish me. All right, and this is the spirit we ought to have, man. This is the spirit that Commanding General Yohana has passed on to us, because that's what was passed on to him. All right, don't look at a brother because the brother fought in his own age, but you're not examining yourself. Examine yourself. Keep going.
For it is a fire that consumeth to destruction, and would root out all mine increase. Verse 13. If I did despise the cause of my manservant or of my maidservant when they contended with me, what then shall I do when God riseth up? And when he visiteth, what shall I answer him?
All right, and this is self-examination. This is what the scriptures say. Evaluate yourself. How are you treating the people that are below you? If you can treat a brother that outrank you, how are you gonna treat the brothers that are underneath you? Huh? If you're gonna speak evil of your father, how are you gonna treat your son?
Right.
What about your servant, the people who are not even your family? If you can speak evil of your father as if there is honor in dishonoring your father, you can never treat your servant with honor. Keep going.
Verse 15. Did not he that made me in the womb make him? And did not one fashion us in the womb? If I have withheld the poor from
Hold on. 15 was the last, right? Or 16?
That's 16, sir.
6, come back.
If I have withheld the poor from their desire, or have caused the eyes of the widow to fail.
All right, most high Christ. This is the 4th set. We're going into the 5th.
I don't want that, sir.
All right, most high Christ. Council Wall. Stay right here. Bring a chair with you. Stay your registry.
Tazawah, Ben Yahawada, Ben Yasharal. Ban.
Say it again.
Tazawah, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yasharal.
Tazawah, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yasha'al.
Barak.
I got it. Right here.
Yahweh Bashim Yashab like a thumb.
Yahweh Hashem
Come
Yahweh
up. Go and get it.
Right. Yeshabia. Means be seated. We don't have
Sure, is there a Tanakh over here?
Yeah, you can read the I.S.U.P.K. You could proceed. Verse 17.
Verse 17. Job chapter 31, verse 17. Wa'akal, Pathia, Labadia, Wala'a, Akal, Yathawam, Mamana, verse 18, Kaya, Manai warrior, Gadal, Gadalanya, Ka'ab,
There you go. 31.
Wamabathan, Salaki, Wamabatan.
You're still in 17?
Now this is 18.
Go ahead.
Amya, Anakana,
19.
verse 19. Ara,
All right.
Awabad, Mabalia, Labawash, Wa'ayan, Kasawath, La'ab Yanan, verse 20. La'a, Barak, Wanya, Kalatazawa, Wamagaz, Kabasha, Wathakamum, verse 21. Hanyapo, Wathia, Al, Yathwam, Yadya, Kaya, Ara'ah, Bashar, Izarathia, verse 22. Kathapia, Mashakama, Zapawal, Wa'azariah, Makuna, Dashabar, verse 23.
You go that way. So you read from right to left.
Okay.
Verse 23, Kaya, Pachad, Alia, Ayad, Al, Wamasha'athwa, La'a, Awakal, verse 24, Shemathia, Zahab, Kasalia, Walakathum, Amarathia, Mabathakia, verse 25, Ashimah, Kaya, Rab, Khayalia, Wakaya, Kabayar, Mataza'ah, Yadia, verse 20.
So, what verse is the last?
The last verse is verse 23, sir.
Oh, it's like,
All right. You read what, to 25?
yeah.
Yeah, you was on a roll. All right. Read the English on Tazawal.
You verse starting at what verse, sir?
Start at verse
17? Come on. This is the book of Job, chapter 31, verse 17. or have eaten my morsel myself alone, and the fatherless have not eaten thereof. Verse 18. For from my youth he was brought up with me, as with a father, and I have guided her from my mother's womb. Verse 19. If I have seen any perish from want of clothing, or any poor without covering. Verse 20. If his loins have not blessed me, and if he were not warmed with the fleece of my sheep. Verse 21. If I have lifted up my hands against the fatherless, when I saw my help in the gate. Verse 22. Then let my arms fall from my shoulder blades.
You hear that?
Right.
He's examining. He don't know what the hell he did. And he's going through what he's going through. Like there's certain things you go through, like, damn, what did I do? Am I getting punished? What did I do? You know, and he's saying, man, if I've done any of these evil, man, just kill me, Lord. You know, just let my children be rooted out. Let my wife grind upon another. Let my shoulder blade fall. Read that last verse.
Verse 22. Then let my arms fall from my shoulder blade.
Let my arm fall from my shoulder blade. It's armless. Keep going.
And my arm be broken from the bone.
All right. This is a man that's not looking at another to say, you're evil. This is a man that's looking at himself. He's looking at himself and saying, if I have done any of these things, man, let me be armless. Let me just walk around with no arms. Because I trespassed the Lord. All right? Examine thyself. Keep going.
Verse 23.
Last verse.
For destruction from God was a terror to me, and by reason of his highness I could not endure.
You read 24 and 25, right? I show you all of them. How's your Hebrew, Tazawal?
It's getting better. I'll be able to try.
All right, so start at 26.
26. The book of Job, chapter 31, verse 26.
Stop at 30.
I'm stopping at 30. Come Ara, Awar, Kaya, Ayal, excuse me. Yahal, Salah. Wayark.
Take your time.
All right.
Doing good. Just take your time.
Wayark. Wayarok. I want to pronounce that correctly.
Wayarok.
All right. Wayarok. Yaquar. Halak.
27.
Verse 27. Wayapak.
That's a thought.
Excuse me. Wayapak. Basafar. Labar. Labaya. Wathashakwa. Yadya. Lapaya. Verse 28. Gum. Awa.
That's a ha.
Excuse me. Gum. Hawa. Awan. Palayalaya. Salakia.
No, don't laugh. You're doing good. So say that word again. Don't laugh at it. All right.
Palayalaya.
Palayalya. All right.
Palayalaya.
Done. Keep
Come
going.
on. Kaya. Kakasha. Yeah.
Done.
Laal.
That's power here. So say it again.
Laal.
That's power. Now you say God.
Oh, Allah.
Okay, so say that word again.
Oh, La Allah. Mamal. You said stop at verse 28, right?
Stop at 30.
30. Ashamka. Hold on. Ashamak. Bapayad. Masha Naya. Wahath Araya, Salakia, try that again. Wa'ath, Rafya, Kaya, excuse me, Salakia. Mataza'al, excuse me, Mataza'an.
That's a Y at the end.
That's a Y, Salakia. Put out again. Mataza'wa, Ra'a, verse 30.
Last verse.
Wala'a, Nathafya, Lakata'a, Kakaya,
Keep going.
Lashal, Kalak, Kala,
That's a Ba.
Salaki. Bahala,
Bala. Keep going.
Napashawa,
Napashwa.
All
right.
Salaki.
Good job.
That's right. Both of y'all keep going with that Hebrew, man. You know.
Oh God.
Son of Christ, y'all got the gift for it because y'all are way far than I was as a trooper. So.
What's that grace?
Give it up for them again.
That's right.
No sign of Christ, man. All right. So read the English. Start it off.
The book of Job, chapter 31, and starting at verse 24.
God.
If I have made gold my hope, or have said to the fine gold, thou art my confidence. Verse 25. If I rejoice because my wealth was great.
Give me Sha'or. Get Ecclesiasticus 5 for me real quick. Ecclesiasticus chapter 5. Matter of fact, pass me the Apocrypha. Right here. I got it. Sure. Keep going.
Verse 25. If I rejoice because my wealth was great, and because my hand have gotten much. Verse 26. If I beheld the sun when it shined, or the moon walking in brightness. Verse 27. And my heart hath been secretly enticed, or my mouth hath kissed my hand. Verse 28. This also were an iniquity to be punished by the judge.
All right. Listen to this carefully, right? This is Ecclesiasticus, the 5th chapter. Verse 1. Read that over, right here.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 5 and verse 1. Set not thy heart upon thy Salakia. Set not thy heart upon thy goods, and say not, I have enough for my life.
All right. Don't say, you know what? I have a six-figure job. I'm making 6 figure. I'm a valued man. Isn't that the term they use today?
High value man.
High value. I'm a high value man. I have a credit score of 800, 750 plus. I have property. I have gold. I have silver. I have Bitcoin. I'm big on that Bitcoin. Don't say, you know what? I have enough. I have money. Because what happened a lot of times, because you have money, your head get puffed up. Right. And Job is saying here, he's just examining himself. What did I do wrong? Was it a woman that deceived me? Did I treat my servant wrong? Did I believe in my gold? Did I set my heart in gold?
Right.
Read that scripture again. Set not thy heart.
Set not thy heart upon thy goods, and say not, I have enough for my life.
Keep going.
Verse 2. Follow not thy own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart.
All right, because that's what will happen.
Right.
Once you start getting money, once you start having enough for yourself, now you're gonna walk in your own counsel, because nobody can tell you nothing. And that Kanye West said, wait till I get my money right. Then you can't tell me nothing, right? Because you set your heart on your money.
Right.
Money is nothing when it comes to the Most High. All right. And this is how Job, in examining himself, he's trying to figure out, okay, is this what I did? Did I set my, read that scripture in Job? Start at what?
This is verse 28. What's in the middle? Start from the top.
Start from where he's talking about if I set my heart in gold, I believe, what was that?
And my heart has been simply enticed. My heart is
Start at 24.
24. Come. The book of Job, chapter 31, verse 24. If I have made gold my hope, or have said to the fine gold, thou art my confidence.
This is where you set your heart upon your goods.
Right.
All right, because now you're making your money, you're making your credit, you're making what you have your counsel. Because you say, man, I have enough. The hell with everybody else. And this is exactly what's going to happen. And this is why you see brothers, once they get money, what do? They start stunting on the poor. They don't go stunt on the billionaires.
Right.
Go stunt with the oppressor.
Right.
Go stunt with the man that's paying you. You can't do it because what you're getting is crumbs comparing to what the oppressor is getting. This is why it's comfortable giving you 5 million. Why it's comfortable giving you 100,000. You get that 100,000, now you're gonna stunt on somebody who's making 15,000. 40,000. Now you got women that say if that man is making less than 100,000, man, the thing you hear on Clubhouse, man, and on this internet, if he's making 40,000, he's a bum. You know, you can't be with a man that's making 50,000. He got to make 100,000 above. Making 100,000 makes him a man. And you ask him, well, what does that make? You know, the oppressor that's paying him. Is the oppressor that's paying him more than a man than he is? You can't set your heart on goods, man. All right? And all of these things is crucial for us. You know, when we're reading about Job as he was going through hell, he didn't sin. He didn't curse the Most High. Instead, he started to examine himself, trying to figure out, what did I do? And if I did it, you know what? Let me be punished for it. If I did it, let my arm fall off. If I did it, let my children be rooted out. All right, that's a righteous man. That's a man who's examining himself. All right? Read from where you left off at before. What was that?
Verse 28 in the middle.
28. Come, keep going.
For I should have denied the God that is above. Verse 29. If I rejoiced at the destruction of him that hated me, or lifted up myself when evil found him. Verse 30. Neither have I suffered my mouth to sin by wishing a curse to his soul.
And this is teaching you how to treat your people, man. Like Christ said, love your enemy. And Job is saying here, if I rejoice in him that hated me, just because a brother hates you, and like we wish no evil upon our people, man.
Right.
You know, and our people, they hate us. They just told me I was in the Illuminati like 10 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? I was a TikTok live. They say I'm in the Illuminati, y'all. You know, we don't wish evil on our people.
Right.
You know, this is why Christ say, love your enemy. He's not talking about the oppressor. He's talking about that Negro that you lend $50 since 2019, pre-pandemic. And then you hate that brother now because he owe you $50. You want to kill him for $50. That's what he's talking about. All right, don't hate your brother because he hates you, or he don't want to give you money, or he robbed you. Don't wish death on him. And Job is saying here, if I read that part again, the last one.
Verse 30. Neither have I suffered.
20,
Oh, you want 28 again?
29.
Oh, 29. Verse 29. If I rejoiced at the destruction of him that hated me.
And this is what you are not to do. You are not to rejoice on your brother's destruction. You know, somebody spoke evil on you, and now he's going through hell. You're like, yeah, good for you, nigga. Good for you. Don't rejoice at your people's destruction. You know. Keep going.
Or lifted up myself when evil found him. Verse 30.
This is exactly what the brothers are doing with the elder. This is exactly what they're doing.
Right.
You lift up yourself above him. his family is mourning. Can you imagine that? Family is mourning, and you, who's supposed to be a child, and you get on the internet and bash your father as if you are rejoicing because the brother passed away. You are rejoicing over his death. You bringing up all the mistake that he's done in his old age, and now you lifting yourself up. These scriptures, man, this is why, what is it? Psalm 1:1 says, meditate, man. This is how you meditate. You're not doing no Buddha, how they do it in the Hindu. It's not how you meditate on these scriptures, man. You meditate on these scriptures by being practical, right? You read these scriptures and you have to practice it, right? If you are going to bash somebody, your elder is that because he made a mistake and now he's fallen and passed away, and now you're lifting yourself above him. You are not meditating on the scriptures, man. Because if you read the scriptures, you would know not to rejoice on your worst enemy's destruction. You would know not to dishonor your father. Keep going.
Verse 30.
What was it? 30 is the last verse, right?
Okay. Neither have I suffered my mouth to sin by wishing a curse to his soul.
Now you wishing a curse. You wishing your curse on your enemy's soul. As opposed to saying, man, forgive him. You don't know, like that's what Christ said, forgive him, for they know not who I am. All right. In the Hebrew.
Hebrew, man?
God.
Okay.
31 and 31.
It's the book of Job, chapter 31, verse 31.
God.
La'ah, Amarwa, Mafia, Ahalia, Maya, Yathan, Mabasharwa, La'ah, Nashadai, but Kathwataza, Bakawataza, La'ah.
That's 32, all right?
Slaki. Verse 32 in the middle. La'ah.
That's a yah in the beginning. Oh, okay.
Oh, you start from the beginning?
No, you're good. Salaki.
All right. La'ah. Yalayan. Salaki, say that again. You absolutely right. Yalayan. Gar. Dalafia.
The laf means door. The lafia, my doors.
The Lafia, excuse me, La'arak, Apath, excuse me, Apakath, Abathak, 33, Kasayath, Ka'aram.
No, that's a dot. That's a dot. Say it again.
Well, Salaki. Ka'adam.
Adam, which is man, or Adam.
Like man.
As Adam, or like Adam. Keep going.
Pashaya. Latamawan. Latamawan.
You said it right the first time. Latamawan.
Latamawan.
Okay, keep going.
But Tabaya.
That's a ka.
Kata, excuse me. Kaka.
No, that's a ba and a ka. Take your time and say it again.
It's like I'm getting
It's a
jumbled up.
ba, it's a ba, a ka, and a ba.
Bakavya,
Con,
Iwanya,
con, 34.
34. Kaya, Arwataza, Hamawan, Rabah, Wakawats,
That's a ba.
excuse me, Wabawats,
Wabawaz.
Wabawaz, Mashapakawath,
That's right.
Yakathanayan, excuse me, Yakathanya,
Con,
Wadam, Wa'adam,
con,
La'a, Ataza'a, Patach, verse 35, Maya, Yathan, Laya, Shammai, Laya, Hun, Thawan, excuse me, Thawaya, Shadia, Ya'inanya, Wasapar, Kathab, Ayash, Rayabya, verse 36, La'a, Al, Shekamya, Ashanawa, Ain Danwa,
you said it right. Keep going.
Aitarwath, Laya, Masapar,
37.
verse 37, Masapar,
The last verse, right, Sean?
37, sir.
Con, keep going.
Tazai Adya, Slaki,
This is-
Agayad,
remember this word right here. You're gonna use it. You're gonna need it in Hebrew Academy. Taza'id. All right? Taza'idya.
Tazai
Remember this word. Steps.
Understood.
They're
All
gonna
right.
do a lot of stepping. They're gonna do a lot of stepping for Hebrew Academy. Just remember this word. Taza'id. Meaning steps. So you're gonna do a lot of stepping. Just be prepared. Keep going.
Tazaadia, Agard Danwa, Kamawa, Nagayad, excuse me, Slakia, Nagayad, Aquar, excuse me, Aquar, Banya, Bamwa, Aquar, Banya,
What? What?
Bamwa, Slakia.
All right, that's this is a 6 set, y'all.
That's the 7, sir.
That's a 7. Aishayala, read the English book, Show.
Job chapter 31 and verse.
That's the 7th, you said?
Come on, sir.
Where did we start?
Start at 31.
31 and verse 31. If the men of my tabernacle said not, oh, that we had of his flesh, we cannot be satisfied. The stranger did not lodge in the street, but I opened my doors to the traveler. If I covered my transgressions as Adam, by hiding mine iniquity in my bosom, did I fear a great multitude, or did
This is crucial, right? When you sin, don't say, you know what, the woman that you put in the garden, don't say that. All right? This is why in the I.S.U.P.K, where is it? We said no excuses.
Right.
All right? No excuses.
Okay.
All right? It's your fault. Don't hide it in your bosom. I saw this thing. It's a brother. He was working at the airport, and they knock on his door. All right. This is when I guess people did not know about these devices, these iPods. The brother is online, and people are looking at him, through the iCloud.
Mm.
He took pictures, and they could see who has the iPad. He stole the iPad, and they came knock on his door. You know what the brother did? He's like, "Oh, my wife." He said, "Your wife? Your wife don't work at the airport, huh? You stole it, right? You stole it. It's your sin. All right, don't hide your sin." And this is what Job is doing throughout this entire chapter. Throughout this entire chapter, he's saying, if I did this, if I let a woman deceive me, right? If I trust in my money, in my gold, right? If I treated my servant wrong, then let me be punished. Right? Don't hide your sin and know that you let a woman deceive you. You know that you are mistreating your servant, and now you're trying to find an excuse why you did it. Don't hide your sin in your bosom. Read that part again. If
I covered my transgressions as Adam by hiding mine iniquity in my bosom, did I fear a great multitude, or did the contempt of families terrify me, that I kept silence and went not out of the door?
And this is another thing too, man. Do not fear sinning because people is gonna find out about it. A lot of times people don't mind doing some evil things as long nobody's gonna know. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't mind smoking a blunt, as long obviously y'all just don't know. This is not how you should think. You should not think like, well, nobody knows. And this is what happened in the Christian church. In the Christian church, they appear all, suited up, all nice, clean shaven, like the angels. I doubt that an angel is clean shaven. Right? I really doubt it. Right? They just right. They just try to be appear like I believe is in Matthew the 23rd chapter when Christ was blazing on the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Man, they appear as if they are righteous, but behind closed door they are sinning because they just want to look good to the public. As long as the public don't know, then it's all good. The Most High knows.
Right.
That's how you have to look at it. I have a brother, man, that came to the Passover, not the Passover, one of the cookout, and he brought his heathen rib with him. And I'm like, yo, the heathen can be here, man. And he's like, nigga, you nobody knows. I know.
Right.
And the Most High knows that I know. You understand what I'm saying? You should not just sin and you doing it because people don't know, so let me just do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Let me just sell this crack and cocaine. Nobody knows. The Most High knows what you're doing now.
Right.
That's why I'm going back to Psalm 1. Psalm 1 and 1 it says, you can't, is it proverb or psalm? I believe it's proverb, right? You can't deceive the Most High, right? The Most High knows your heart. You cannot deceive the Most High. Keep going. Let me see if I find it real quick. I believe it's Proverb 1 or Psalm 1. I'm pretty sure it's Proverb. But keep going, though.
Verse 35. Oh, that one would hear me. Behold, my desire is that the Almighty would answer me, and that mine adversary had written a book. Surely I would take it upon my shoulder, and bind it as a crown to me. I would declare unto him the number of my steps. As a prince would I go near unto him. 38. If my land cry against me, or that the furrows likewise.
37. All right, let me get that precept real quick. This is Psalm chapter 1. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. All right, so the Lord, the Most High knows what the hell you're doing, man. One thing, because nobody knows, the Most High don't know. And a lot of time people fear people, right? They fear their perception in society. They fear what people think about them as opposed to what the Most High knows. This is why these people are evil, because they doing their evilness, but in the public, they a superstar, they righteous, they the preacher, but behind closed door, they are evil as hell, as if the Most High don't know. This is why in the I.S.U.P.K we say the Most High we fear. We fear the Most High, man. All right, there's nobody there's no Levi that's gonna come here, to stone you to death because you smoking weed, behind closed doors. All right. Now you have a bigger burden, and that burden is to examine yourself. All right, that burden is to sacrifice yourself and to know that you don't need a priest to know that you're sinning. The Most High knows you're sinning, and you change your life. All right, you examine yourself, man, and this is what we champion here in the I.S.U.P.K. All right, because the way we're going to get out of this oppression, like Commanding General Yohana said, man, our morality is the biggest weapon that we have. This is the biggest weapon that we have, man, brotherhood. And we have this brotherhood through the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, because this is how we're going to get out of this hell. You're not going to get out of this hell by appearing to be a good man in the eyes of the public. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, you're sleeping with white women, you're smoking weed, you're selling drugs to your people. You're doing all manner of evil, but nobody knows about it. Nah, you have to change your life. You have to examine yourself. All right? With that, Sha'ar, get this for me real quick. Next week, we're going to pick it up. What's the last verse you read here?
37.
37? All right, next verse is 38, right?
Okay.
Next week, we're going to pick it up at Job chapter 31, verse 38, correct? All right, with that, at Majum. All right. Shapar, which means horn. Yayan, which stands for wine. Barak, Ashayal.
La Yasharala,
which means
to Israel. La.
So, can you pass me the other one, the other banner? How you do with the Hebrew? Do I with it? Okay. All right. So I do this. There you go. All right. Saw upon your Hakwadam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to recite the prayers, starting with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa,
Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Qudash Hayah,
Qudash Hayah,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Malakuska,
Malakuska,
Taba'a,
Taba'a,
Ratazaka,
Ratazaka,
Hayya,
Hayya,
I.S.U.P.K,
I.S.U.P.K,
Bayaratiza,
Bayaratiza,
Kawa,
Kawa,
Hayya,
Hayya,
Bashamayim,
Bashamayim,
the thunder now,
the thunder now,
Lakam,
Lakam,
Ka,
Ka,
Yawam,
Laban,
Basalak now,
Wasalak now,
Kawawak now,
Kawawak now,
Kasalak now,
Kasalak now,
Kawawak now,
Kawawak now,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Dabaya Anawa,
Kabaya now,
Banasaya one,
Banasaya one,
Abba,
Abba,
Hawashanawa,
Awashai now,
Bayan,
Mayan,
Rai,
Rai,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Hamalakwa,
Amalakwa,
Wahalala,
Wa'ala,
Wahatapara,
Wa'atapara,
La'awalanyum,
La'awalanyam,
Aman,
Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh, thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom
Thy
come.
will be done.
Thy will be done.
On earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, our daily bread. Give us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. The power in the Hebrew, Yahweh.
Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushua,
Bahasham Yahushua,
Baba Kusha,
the
Nathanawa,
Yahweh,
Haka, Lara Kamakala, Salaki, Ka Maka'ala,
Wakamarwa,
Haka, Latahar, Hamatazarayim, Haka, Lahaquayim, Hamathium, Haka, Araka'awa, Hata'ama, Salaki, Hatama'ala, Lagarashan, Bahasham, Yahushua, the water, Aman.
In the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh, please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'a, Ayanya, Al-Haharyum, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'aratiza, Ayathan, Lamawat, Raga'alka,
Alyanawam,
Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayasun, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazaka, Al-Yad, Yum Yanka, Yawamam, Hashamash,
La'ayakaka,
Wayara, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Afna Pashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'afka, Wabawa'afka, Ma'aitha, Wa'aid Awalam.
In the English, I will lift up my eyes.
Unto
the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. You will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee, will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel, shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon
Yahweh
thy
is thy
right hand.
shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out,
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in,
and thy coming in.
from this time forth,
From this time forth,
even forevermore.
even forevermore. Psalm 83 in Hebrew. Ayola young. Allah young.
Allah
Salaki. Allah
Al
Demaya.
Laka
Laka. Takarash. Wa'alta Shakwat. Kayahana.
Awayabiyaka
Yahamayawan.
Yahamayawan
Wamashanayaka. Nasha'awa. Ra'ash. Alamaka.
Al-Amaka
Yaka. Ya'ara
Yahweh
Sawad. Wayata Ya'aitazawa.
Wayata Ya'atazawa
Altazapawan Yaka.
Altazapawanyaka
Amarwa.
Lakawa
Wanakakyadam.
Wanakakyadam
Magalia.
Wala'a
Yazakar. Shom Yasha'ala.
Shum Yasharala
Aiwad.
Kaya
Nawa'aitazawa.
Nawa'aitazawa
La. Yaka'adwa.
Yaka'adwa
Ayaka. Barya.
Bara'af
Yakarathwa.
Yakarafwa
Ahalia.
Adawam
Wayashamaliyam.
Wayashamaliyam
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba
Wahagaryam.
Wa'agorium
Gabal. Wa'aimawan. Wa'amalak. Palashat. I'm Yashabia.
Tazawar
Gam Ashawar.
Ashawar
Nalawat. Imam. Hayawat. Zarawai.
Labanyalawat
Salah.
Aishalaham
Kamadian. Kasayasara.
Kasayasara
Kayabyan. Banakar. Kwayashwan. Nashamadwa. Ba'ayan. Da'ara. Haywa. Daman. La'adama. Shayathim. Shayathamwa. Nadiyabmawa. Ka'ira. Wakaza'ab. Wakazabak. Wakatazalmanai.
Wakatazamanai
Kal Nasayakamwa. Ashar. Amarwa.
Nayarasha
Lanawa.
Na'awat
Allahayim.
Alahayam
Alahaya. Shayathamwa. Kagalgala. Kakwash.
Lapanya
Ka'ash. The Ba'ira. Wakalahaba. Dalahat. Harya. Khan. The Radapma. Basa Iraka. Babasa Wapafka. Tabahalam. Mala'at. Panyahum. Palawan. Wayabakwashwa. Shumka. Yahweh. Yabashwa. Wayabahalwa. Aidai. Wayaka'arpawa. Wayabadwa. Wayadaiwa. Kaya. Asaf. Shukka Yahweh. Labaka. Ayawan. Alkal Ha'arataza.
Keep not thy silence, O my power.
Keep not thy silence, O my power.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
Hold my power.
Hold my power.
For lo,
thy
thy enemies make a tumult,
enemies make a tumult,
and they that hate thee, have lifted up their head.
have lifted up the
They
head.
have taken crafty counsel against our people,
They have taken crafty counsel against thy
and
people,
consulted against our hidden ones.
and consulted against thy hidden
They
ones.
have said,
They have said,
Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
that the name of Israel
that the name of Israel
may be no more in
may
remembrance.
be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted
For
They have consulted
together
together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The
thee.
tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of
and
Edom,
the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
of Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
the Baal,
Gebal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Esau also is joined with them.
Esau also is joined with
They
them.
have opened the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to
as
Sisera,
to Japan,
as to
at
Japan,
the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles
Make they noble
like Orad,
like Orad,
and like Zahab,
and like Zahab.
Yea, all their princes,
All their
as
princes,
Sabbath,
as Zabak,
and as Zalmunna,
and as
who
Zalmunna,
said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of the power and possession.
the houses of the power and possession.
Oh, my power,
Oh, my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth for wood,
as the fire burns the wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flame sets the mountains on
So
fire.
persecute them with thy tempest,
So persecute them with thy tempest,
and make them afraid with thy storm.
and make them afraid with thy
Fill
sword.
their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with
that
shame,
they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy
Oh
name.
Yahweh,
Oh, Yahweh,
let them be confounded,
let them be
in
confounded,
trouble forever.
in trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame,
let them be put to shame,
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that they may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name
is
alone
Whose name
is
alone is
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
art the most high,
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth. I.S.U.P.K blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahweh Shah?
Why Yahweh Shah?
Why Mayaka Allah?
Why Mayaka Allah?
Why Al-Hayim?
Why Alahayim?
Matazabia.
Matazabia.
Alawak Yahana.
Alawak Yahana.
Ha-Alawakim.
Ha-Alawakim.
Ha-Saranyam.
Ha-Saranyam.
Ha-Kwatazayanyam.
Ha-Kwatazayanyam.
Ha-Kayayayam.
Ha-Kayayayam.
Wah-Ha-Ak-Wakim.
Wah-Akwakim.
Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shah.
The water Aman.
The water Aman in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angel.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohanan.
Commanding General Yohanan.
General.
The general.
The captain.
The captain.
The officer.
The officer.
The trooper.
The trooper.
And the sister.
And the sister.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
I.S.U.P.K curses. Get yours. I.S.U.P.K curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
Punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
Teachers.
Thy teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose.
And shake loose.
The treasure.
The treasure.
Of the rich of Israel.
Of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
Who refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
To enter into thy
Send
sanctuary.
evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
punishment and destruction
Punishment and
to
destruction
the Edomites
to the Edomites
and the nation
and the nation
and their drug dealers,
and their drug
the
dealers,
court system,
court
the
system,
prison system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned
all the
Parenthood,
governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek city guards and armies,
Amalek city guards,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
the Pope,
Islam,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia, Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Skinhead,
Posse Kamatazi,
Posse Kamatazi,
the gay movement,
the
lesbian movement,
spies,
workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airwaves, cable access channel, and the radio channel, convict the spirit of any of thy people, that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathens, that stand in the way, or try to stop us, from broadcasting your word, throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro, to the earth, and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief, and the murderer, Let Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel, come down with the flying saucers, and punish all the heathens, that come up against us, as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all. That it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause it to shake at that coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you always. So be it. And the visual, we're going to give one courtesy salute. And the visual, Majum Shabbat. Majum, Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakadam.
Yachmatah. Dismiss. Amen. Most High in Christ.